What's up, guys? Skippy Africanus here, and welcome back to another Cards of the Week episode, this week featuring the 9.3 by 74R. Now, this round, I will say, was one of interest to me, namely due to the 9.3 millimeter part, as normally when I'm thinking of a 9, or at least something close to that, I'm thinking of, the much smaller and much more common 9 by 19. And to have a bullet, albeit a little bit bigger, but still close in diameter to this, being placed at the end of a very large rifle case, I don't know, I just, found it to be pretty cool, even though I know that there are plenty of other rifle rounds that are not only 9mm in diameter, but there also are quite a few that are a lot bigger. Anyways, before we get more into this cartridge's history, use, and all that stuff, we will first do what we always do and take a look at the head stamp, which on the top reads RWS, which stands for Rheinisch-Westfälische Sprengstoff-Aktiengeschäft. Yeah, I really butchered that one, but I like trying to attempt to pronounce these names. Anyways, that is the manufacturer of the cartridge, and on the bottom you will see it says 9,3 by 74R for the caliber 9.3 by 74R, which, if you are not aware, Europeans and a lot of other countries for that matter, they use a comma in place of a period when writing out, the decimals and all that. Now, this cartridge has been around for quite some time, being developed in Germany in around 1900, and it was, and still very much is, a very widely popular European sporting round, and also has seen plenty of use in Africa. The cartridge has been used on animals up to elephant, and many more times than just once. However, it is more suited for, say, like medium to large game, large meaning not elephants, with many hunters taking, stuff like boar, elk, buffalo, stuff of that nature, which of course influences the various loadings for this cartridge. There were definitely some weaker loadings, all the way up to some much more potent loadings. I had actually read, now I'm not sure how true this is, but I was hearing of people loading these down to around like a 30-30 in power, which, if that's true, that definitely does give you a lot more animals to hunt. Now, when it comes to rifle selection, the typical gun you will find are either single shots, double rifles, or drilling rifles, which drilling rifles, if you're not aware, is a rifle that has multiple calibers. Typically, you'll have a shotgun barrel, and then you'll have a rifle barrel, or just a combination of various different calibers. And to add to that, I could have swore there was at least one 3-shot bolt action in this caliber that I saw a few years ago. Something that was really cheap too, like in the $1,000 range, but for the life of me, I can't seem to find it right now. It could have been that I mistook another 9.3 caliber for being in that rifle, but I'm pretty confident it was the 74R one. But as mentioned, for the most part, you will see rifles mostly in the previously mentioned platforms, the single shots, drillings, and double rifles. Now, one thing I do want to add is perhaps the coolest rifle, this one's particularly a double rifle to be chambered for this round, has got to be the Honig Rotary Action rifle, which, seeing that, I don't think I gotta tell you guys why this is a very cool rifle. Another rifle of note when discussing the 9.3 by 74R, namely due to video games like Battlefield 5, is the M30 Luftwaffe drilling rifle, which essentially was to be a survival rifle used for foraging food in the event of a crash. Now, typically, survival rifles are in small calibers, like, let's say, 22 Hornet. However, aside from the 2 shotgun barrels, the rifle caliber for this specific survival rifle was the 9.3 by 74R, which there is some funny speculation as to why this may have been done, things ranging from the misunderstanding that there were lions in North Africa, where, these were primarily issued, to Göring just sort of using Luftwaffe funds to have these rifles made and then given away as gifts, as Göring was actually quite the hunter, and he did give away quite a few of these on occasion. But that being said, next time you're playing Battlefield 5, keep in mind that that M30 isn't firing something small like a 22 Hornet or, the main German infantry caliber, the 7.92 by 57, but rather a decently large game cartridge. Now, this considered, just by looks, obviously, the 9.3 is quite the hefty-looking round, but what exactly are the specs of this cartridge? Well, for this one in particular, we have RWS's 9,3 by 74R Evolution, which features a 290-grain bullet, the bullet itself being a 2-part construction, with the front part being solid copper, and the rear being a lead core with a nickel jacket. The published velocity for this specific loading is stated at 2181 feet per second, with a recommended effective range of up to 180 meters. And the game it's rated for is also stated. Now, there also, as mentioned before, exists plenty of different loadings for the 9.3 by 74R, with bullet weights ranging from 230 to the previously mentioned 290 grains, and FPSs ranging from 2559 feet per second for the lower grain weight bullets to the previously mentioned 2181 feet per second for the heavier projectiles. Now, on the topic of bullets, now, while this isn't necessarily considered the best option for hunting elephant, it's certainly taken quite a few, and should you have been bringing this to hunt elephant, you would likely be using a monolithic bullet, which is simply a bullet made of just like one, material. Like let's say they usually use like a just solid brass bullet. Now, I also do note that given the age and versatility of this round, that there does exist plenty more loadings going even lighter or heavier, slower or faster. This is simply the average. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for this week's Cartridge of the Week episode featuring the 9.3x74R. I hope y'all enjoyed the video as much as I personally enjoyed making it, and I will see y'all next time.